Hello and welcome to India TV. I am Shivangi and you're watching HealthDNA. Well, today we are living in a time where our brains are constantly on overdrive, juggling stress, lack of sleep and endless screen time. But have you ever wondered what all that scrolling, binge watching and multitasking is really doing to our brain? Well, today we will decode brain health from the impact of social media and diet to the habits that can actually make your brain stronger. And for that, we have with us Chairman of Neurology Department from Medanta Hospital, Dr. Arun Garg. Sir, welcome to India TV.
Thank you.
Sir, to begin with, I wanted to ask you that what are the major brain-related disorders that people must be aware of in today's time?
So see, we see two kinds of patients in neurology. One is which is walking in our OPD, outpatient department. That is, patient is most common is headache and vertigo and depression and backache, neck pain. So these are common neurological disorders which we see in our outpatient department. There is a second group which comes to our emergency department. Most common is a stroke. Stroke is sudden deficit of brain function, and epilepsy, seizure disorder, or patient comes in emergency with severe headaches and meningitis, encephalitis. So these two groups are common in neurological practice nowadays.
So moving on, there are disorders like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. So they are also rising, but only because of aging factor, or there are other factors at play as well?
So age has got no role in development of any degenerative disorders like Alzheimer or Parkinson's disease. We don't know the exact etiology of these disorders, but something happens in the brain and which leads to Alzheimer disease. What happens is deposition of amyloid in extracellular spaces of brain, and at the same time deposition of tau protein in intracellular spaces of brain, which leads to neurodegeneration. Neurodegeneration leads to loss of function of that particular part of the brain.
Okay.
Similarly, in Parkinson's disease, some changes are happening. Dopamine levels are reducing in the brain, and that results in slowing of routine day-to-day activities. But the exact cause is not known, but definitely age is not the factor. We see such patients more after 65 years of age, but we see many of patients or many persons who are living normal life at 85, 90 years of age. So age has got no role in causation of Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's disease.
Okay. Moving on, there's a term that is going viral these days, and that is brain fog. Because recently we saw US President Donald Trump, and a moment of his came to light when he was in Japan, and videos are going viral that his brain fog moment came to light. So what is actually brain fog, and is it hiding something behind it? I mean, can brain fog or mental fog can cause something serious brain-related disorder?
We need to understand what is fog.
Yeah.
So fog is temporarily loss of attention. Attentiveness is lost is fog. You are confused for some time. So what is the reason behind it? So we have to understand the mechanics of brain, how brain functions. So there is brainstem. Brainstem is getting information from periphery. We see is going to brainstem. We hear is going to brainstem. We feel something at our periphery is going to brainstem. Brainstem, there is brainstem reticular activating system, which gives information to thalamus and then finally to brain. Brain is an area of human body which makes us superior to animals. So this is the most mature area of brain, which is because of which we are intelligent. We are functioning intelligently. So attentiveness is the primary. If one is attentive, one can function intelligently. If one is not attentive, one cannot function intelligently. So any involvement of this brainstem reticular activating system can lead to fog state.
Okay.
If it is not active, you are confused. You are not getting proper information. So at times you are not getting proper sleep, you may lead it into fog state. But it can be a sign of some long-term disorder which is going to happen. Evolution of Alzheimer's disease can begin with this fog state.
Okay. So you mean to say that brain fog or mental fatigue might signal something more serious beneath the surface?
If it is recurrent, if it is frequent, if one is asking same questions repeatedly, if one is forgetting what he has taken in the breakfast, if one is forgetting who he has met 30 minutes back. So if it is happening repeatedly, then definitely it is a sign that patient is going to land up in maybe Alzheimer's disease or some other kind of dementia.
So moving on, in metro cities nowadays, and especially Delhi NCR, pollution is a major concern for us. We wake up and we see haze, a blanket of haze covering our city. So is pollution also affecting our nervous system?
So I'll say not directly, but definitely indirectly there is some impact. How? Maybe it is causing oxidative stress on our brain cells. When we get up in the morning and it's haze all over, then you don't feel good. You are not getting proper sunlight, and your brain is not activated, your reticular activating system is not activated, and that leads to possibly reduced brain functions, or reduced circuitry of brain is not that much activated, which are normally happening in bright day sunlight.
Okay. Moving on, nowadays mental health is priority for all of us, and we work 9 to 5, stress, anxiety, these are common things. So do you think that stress affects the brain over time?
Everything which is happening is related to brain circuitry.
Right.
So there are certain brain circuits which make us happy. There are certain brain circuits which make us sad. So if a particular circuit is how it functions. So I told you there is a reticular activating system in brainstem. It gives information to thalamus. There are dopaminergic pathways and there are catecholaminergic pathways. So dopaminergic pathway activates thalamus, and then thalamus in turn activates prefrontal lobe of brain. Prefrontal lobe, there are areas for social cognition, there are areas for motivation, there are areas for emotion, there are areas for memory, and there are areas for judgment and problem solving, executive functions. So when there is a stress, then a particular part of brain which is activating prefrontal lobe motivation is suppressed. Okay. If that area is suppressed, then your ignition is failed. So when there is no ignition, then you lose interest in surroundings. You feel low, you feel loss of interest, you are irritable, you feel palpitation, anxiety, and that leads to long-term problems. And if this is persistent and not treated in time, can lead to permanent changes in the brain, because one part is activated, other part is suppressed, and that suppression can lead to permanent changes in the brain cells.
Moving on, similarly, can conditions like anxiety or depression cause lasting changes in the brain?
So as I told you, there is limbic system in the brain,
yeah,
which is for happiness and which is at the same time can lead to sadness. So happiness, if you perform something good, India won cricket match, Women's World Cup, it's elating, and you are happy, and dopamine
it is historic.
Neurons are stimulated, and the brain, the circuit of emotion is activated, and you are happy. Similarly, something bad happens, or you are under stress because you are not happy because of certain things happening in your life, and that leads to suppression of this particular circuit, and permanent continuous suppression can lead to certain changes, oxidative stress, degeneration of neurons, atrophy of neurons, leading to loss of function of that particular part, and that ultimately lead to dementia. Not directly, it's a very slow process, but it can contribute to causation of dementia.
So you mean that continuous stress days, or I would say bad days at work, might have an impact on our brains, right?
So studies have confirmed that long-term depression or social isolation is one of the causative factors, indirect causative factors for causation of Alzheimer's disease.
Okay, so I think we should be more concerned at workplaces as
definitely. Well. If you are happy, then definitely your brain functions are much better, your performance is much better.
Moving on, in our day-to-day lives, we often skip sleep. So can lack of sleep damage the brain, or can it recover once we rest?
So the reticular activating system.
Yeah.
Reticular activating system is one which keeps us alert. So there is reticular activating system. It is giving information to a certain nucleus in thalamus, and thalamus is keeping our prefrontal lobe activated. Prefrontal lobe is organ of socialization, which keeps us alert, which is important for judgment, problem solving, executive functions. And if you are not sleeping, this is hyperactivated. When this is hyperactivated, what happens? There is a circuit called papaya circuit for short-term memory. You are activated, you are busy with social media, your short-term memory part is functioning fine.
Right.
But what happens to long-term memory? So long-term memory is stored in other regions of the brain. If you don't give it time, so what happens during sleep is there is posterior cingulate gyrus and there is hippocampus. When you sleep, these two areas become activated.
Okay.
When hippocampus and posterior cingulate gyrus are activated, they restore memory. During sleep, they restore memory. They filter out unnecessary informations and they restore usual important information in that particular part of the brain, which is long-term memory.
Okay.
So your posterior cingulate gyrus and hippocampus is not activated because you are not getting sleep. That is why you lose long-term memory over time, and that is what is dementia.
Okay, so lack of sleep, as we see,
It's very important.
Is very. We need to look out after it. We need to have a good sleep.
Yes, it's very important to get 7-8 hours night sleep. There are some persons like PM Modi, they can sleep 4 hours and they are still active.
Yeah.
But they are short sleep cycle persons. But most of us are long sleep cycle, that is 7 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours.
Yeah.
So we need that much of sleep to get our brain activated.
And I guess that's the reason why PM Modi is PM Modi, because he can obviously be a great person at multitasking, and I think that yes, he can function on short sleep cycles, but obviously we cannot. Moving on, is there a real link between modern diets, especially high sugar, and diseases like Alzheimer's?
So again, there is no direct link.
Okay.
But high sugar, there is misconception that sugar does not cause diabetes. Diabetes is because of lack of insulin storage, and this can be hereditary, or this can happen to someone, but not all. If you take sugar, there is no link, but it's wrong conception. So what happens with age?
Yeah.
Your insulin storage decline. With age, this is spontaneous degeneration of pancreas, insulin storage decline, and if with age you take high sugar content, then ultimately you lead to diabetes. So nowadays we say that after 40, 45, you should be cautious while taking sugar, because your insulin storage are going down. There is a strong tendency that you may land up in diabetes. When you land up in diabetes, then you will land up in Alzheimer's disease. Why? So there are certain causative factors, not direct but indirect, as I told you, depression and social isolation. Similarly, mid-age diabetes, obesity, hypertension are contributory factors in causation of Alzheimer's disease.
Okay. So these are not directly linked but indirectly. Okay. So moving on, what are the long-term effects of using substances like marijuana or hallucinogens? Is there any long-term impact on the brain?
So definitely, long-term impact is you can land up in psychosis, psychotic disorders. You can land up in persistent perceptual disorders.
Okay.
So perceptual disorders are something you are perceiving which is not there, hallucinations. So you are perceiving something, some animals are playing in the environment, but there is no animal. So you see halos around the light. So something you are perceiving which is not in the environment is directly linked with hallucinations. So hallucinogens.
Yeah, right.
So marijuana, similarly, it activates this circuit in the brain, thalamus and prefrontal lobe areas are activated, and excessive activation leads to excessive release of dopamine, and once you are off it, certain dopamine levels are going down. When dopamines are low, you are listless, lack of energy is there,
right,
and your body will demand for hallucinogen again.
Yeah.
And you will take hallucinogen and ultimately you are
becomes a
dependent.
cycle.
You are addicted to that.
Yeah. So we need to take care of that
Yes.
as well. So, how important is diet for brain health? I mean, what are the foods that you would suggest are good to boost our brain health?
So, Mediterranean diet is the best diet for brain or body as such. So, what is Mediterranean diet? Full of legumes, vegetables, fruits is what is Mediterranean diet. So, focus on legumes, fruits, vegetables.
Sir, nowadays, are we really seeing more cases of digital dementia due to excessive screen time? So, is that binge watching, scrolling actually affecting our brain?
Definitely. We have already discussed there is papaya circuit for short-term memory. When you are doing excessive binge watching digital, you are busy with social media and digital platform. Your papaya circuit is anterior thalamus going to cingulate gyrus coming to hippocampus and then going to thalamus, anterior thalamus. And this is circuit which is important for short-term memory. So we are talking this is short-term memory.
Okay.
But I'm not retaining it unless until I give time to my posterior cingulate gyrus and hippocampus to take rest and restore this memory, filter out unnecessary information, and my long-term memory is going to be affected.
Yeah.
So you are dependent on social media. This papaya circuit is activated all the time, but long-term memory there is no storage of long-term memory. So that ultimately leads to dementia. That is, I think, is digital dementia.
Okay, so like constantly scrolling Instagram reels and all is going to affect our memory.
Definitely, because your brain is activated, you are getting there is dopaminergic surge, catecholamine is suppressed, and you are not getting proper sleep. When you are not getting proper sleep, then you are not activating your posterior cingulate gyrus and hippocampus, and ultimately you lead to dementia.
Sir, moving on, what are the clear signs of a healthy brain versus red flags that we need to watch out for?
So, see, there are 6 domains which define our cognition.
Right.
So, most important is attention, complex attention. So, when I am talking to you, I am attentive to you. I am not thinking of anything else, past or future. I am not thinking of that. That is complex attention, which is most important in building a sharp memory and intelligence. So, cognitive domain, complex attention, this leads to language. We develop language over a period of time. We start speaking Hindi or English or other languages.
Yeah.
So language is important part of that. And then learning and memory, developing memory. This is third most common cognitive domain. Besides this, judgment and problem solving and executive functions, we do day-to-day activities because our prefrontal lobe, a particular part is guiding us how to perform activities. And then visuospatial orientation. So I scan this environment, what is happening in my environment is visuospatial. And then cognitive, social cognition. So how to behave in a social setting. Okay. So these are important cognitive domains. Anything which is affecting any of these 6 cognitive domain is the sign that your brain is not functioning properly. This is one part for cognition.
Right.
Besides that, so cognition is one part. Second is if your vision is affected, you are unable to see one half of the visual field. You are unable to interpret what is being conveyed to you. If you are unable to move your hands or arms, or you are unable to walk, are the signs, or you are unsteady while walking, or you are falling. So these are the signs which suggest that probably your brain is not functioning fine. You are confused, you are you are unable to navigate the paths. That is a sign that possibly your brain is not functioning fine.
Okay. So, what daily habits can help keep our brain fit and alert in that case?
So, early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. This is a long-term saying. So, follow this. Okay. Very effective, very effective. So, you go to bed by 9, 9:30, 10. And you get up by 5, 6 in the morning and then do regular exercises. Physical exercises are as important as mental exercises. So regular physical and mental exercises. What mental exercises?
Yeah, I was about to come on that.
So limited social media is not bad. Limited. You need information. You read good literature. You listen to news, day-to-day news, what is happening. You meet people. You meet with good people. Satsang is very important. Satsang.
Oh.
So spiritual as well as what is happening in international circuit, what is happening in national circuit. So gain knowledge. So and read and then proper sleep. Early to bed and early to rise. So proper 6, 7, 8 hours sleep.
Okay, so proper sleep and working on our knowledge and all, basically being aware of all our surroundings,
Yes,
right? That's what
yes.
you say. Any other particular mental exercises that you would recommend?
So the mental exercises, puzzle solving,
Okay,
Sudoku,
yeah,
and most important is read.
okay,
You gain knowledge when you read good literature. So you read newspaper, you read good literature, you gain knowledge by reading. You can watch TV, but not if you are continuously on blue screen, this will hamper your sleep.
Yeah.
So blue screen is bad for sleep. So if you are watching your mobile phone or iPad or TV before going to bed, maybe your sleep is disturbed, and if your sleep is disturbed, your long-term memory is going to be hampered.
Well, I hope that all our questions were answered. I guess we, in fact, we answered all our questions and we got to know a lot about our brain health. We decoded a lot. And thank you, sir, for all that information. I hope our viewers would love this interview. And for our viewers, what are your questions? If you have any thoughts, then do let us know in the comment section. And for more such interviews, stay tuned with India TV News.